everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are having a fantastic weekend. If today's Sunday musing looks a little technicolor, it's because we've been outside filming a couple of other videos for the holiday season. And Michael, who was behind the camera with our gloves on, said, "Hey, do you just want to do the Sunday musing with the fancy camera?" And I was like, yes, because it's cold and I don't want to come back outside. I'll do the chicken and garden with the GoPros because I wander around with that. So unfortunately, you don't get the Technicolor experience with the chicken and garden update. But anyway, I hope that you are getting ready for the holiday season. If you are in the US, I hope that you are gearing up to spend some time with the people who are important to you rather than the people who you feel an obligation to spend time with. I know that Thanksgiving is never fun if you are forced to spend it with people who have issues with who you are or perhaps are not very pleasant people. So I hope that you are all able to pick safe and wonderful, calm places to be this coming week. I'm going to be doing a Sunday musing next weekend that's a little bit more Thanksgiving-y focused. But today I want to talk to you about preparations for storms. As we are now into storm season, we just had a massive bomb cyclone pass over us. The wind last night here was absolutely terrible. Luckily, we didn't lose power, but many of my friends in the Pacific Northwest are still without power and are still trying to figure out how they're going to get things done and sorted. And I wanted to know from you how you prepare for a power cut and what your backup solutions are. Now, we've got a video coming on the channel next week where I'm talking about ways that you can use your EV to cook. But I'm curious as to how in the past you have managed to keep important things powered on, whether that is just things like mobile phones and computers so that you can communicate with the outside world, or maybe a little bit more in depth. Maybe you have been cooking from your EV, as I'm going to be talking about later next week. Or maybe you have a battery backup solution for your home, or maybe you've got an old school generator. I know that some people go the biodiesel route and they have a diesel generator that they can fire up. I know people who have a tractor that they use to power their home. In fact, someone I used to know in Wales had an old Ford tractor from the 1940s with a PTO, power takeoff shaft on the back. And then they had a special shaft that they connected to basically a generator that connected to the output shaft of their tractor. And then they just parked the tractor, cranked the accelerator, the hand throttle, to run the engine a little bit faster. And then the tractor ran a generator which then provided power to their home. And while that's not necessarily the most green and environmentally responsible thing to do, this tractor was ancient, it ran on biofuel, and it just sat there. They were up in the mountains, no one was going to come and run away with it. So it worked for them, but I'm curious as to how you do it. Here at the house, obviously, we have the Ford home integration system, which has been misbehaving. Yes, I'm working with Ford to try and rectify that problem. I think there's a technical service bulletin that's due to drop that will, hopefully fix it. Hopefully. I also know plenty of people with Tesla Powerwalls and other kind of battery backup solutions like the Sonnen battery backups. There's one for sale locally on Facebook Marketplace. Someone's wanting about $3,000 for a full AC backup system for a home. Or perhaps you just, use those massive portable lithium-ion batteries that have become very popular in the last couple of years. Personally, for me, we have a bunch of home appliances that allow us to cook even if the mains power isn't on. One of the few things that isn't easily backed up in our house, we do, when the home integration system is running, we do have backup power for the well and for the septic system, so we can still have water and we can still use the toilets. But we can't power the stove from that system. It's one of the few things that isn't powered by the truck through the home integration system. So we have like inductive hobs and things like that that we use in an emergency to provide power. We have backup heating in case the truck doesn't work and we have to pull power from a different source. But I can't help but wonder, as we move towards an era of uncertainty, how many of us are actually prepared for future power cuts. Certainly in the US, if we're talking about deregulation of utilities, we can expect profits to be put above everything else. And when you put profits above everything else, that very often means that the services suffer. You face more cases of neglect on the network. A lot of regular maintenance may not be done, and you end up with a situation where power cuts become more common, where brownouts become more common, and where consumer resiliency becomes more and more important. So let me know in the down below how you have coped with power cuts in the past, how you have utilized your EV, if you have got an EV that you've used for that purpose. Do you have a novel solution? I know some of my friends actually have put inverters in their vehicles. The lovely Ben Nelson right now has been playing with a way of putting a mains inverter into an old Tesla Model S that he picked up on the used market. And I've been watching that project with absolute glee, because it regains a lot of the control. Ben also actually made a CHAdeMO to mains inverter system for his Mitsubishi i-MiEV. So maybe you are along that line. Maybe you're like Dala the Great, who has a home battery backup solution that's made using old EV battery packs and open source stuff that he's designed himself. Or maybe you've gone a different route. Tell me your stories in the down below. If you are celebrating Thanksgiving this week, I hope that you are able to be safe and with people who you love and who care for you. And I will see you this time next week. Thanks for joining me today, and if you've got some thoughts, make sure you leave them in our Discord chat room, our Patreon page, or you can reach out to us on Mastodon. Thanks to the amazing list of people scrolling by on your screen right now. They are some of the more than 1,500 people who help fund this channel through Patreon and YouTube, covering our bills, paying our team, and making sure that we can remain 100% independent. If you'd like to join them and see your name listed here, just follow the links below. There are a range of different tiers that you can sign up for, from as little as $1 a month, or if you pay yearly, just over $10 a year. A huge welcome to our newest supporters: Alan Brim, Jim, Sarah Horlock, full name, Todd Johnson, Roderick, Stuart Despain, Rupert Ronson, Larry Phoenix, Dala, Wendy Kelly Bundenbaum, and Kay. To join the list and get your shout out, become a paid Patreon member for your moment of fame. If you'd like to support us with a one-off donation, you'll also find links below to make Ko-fi and Bitcoin donations, and we even have a good old-fashioned PO box you can reach us at, address also linked below. And of course, if you're in need of some swag, you'll find our swag store in the down below. We've also got some great content coming up, so make sure you're subscribed on PeerTube or YouTube, and we'll see you soon. We make new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you want more, the mighty algorithm thinks you'll like this video, but we also think this one is well worth a look. See you soon, and as always, keep evolving!